Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to learn how to cook these cabbage pockets, and as you can see here I'm using my bread maker to make the dough, and I have the ingredients written down below of what you need. So it's flour, yeast, water, oil, salt, and then I'm just going to slice 2 onions, and I have a little bit of olive oil in my pan. I'm using a cast iron heavy pan for it. It's all speeding up because I recorded this to do voiceover for it. But here I am finishing my onions and struggling to put them in with one hand, because with the other hand I'm using to hold my camera. But yeah, so you want to just fry on medium these onions for about 10 minutes maybe, and while that's cooking, while the onions are cooking, I'm going to take half a head of cabbage, and I just take off the leaves that are covering, because usually they're bashed and dirty and ugly. So I'm going to slice this in half and then into quarters, and I'm using my big knife to just slice the cabbage leaves thinly. You could do this in like a not a blender, but one of those mixers that has a blade at the top that you can slice with, or you could just use your knife. I use my knife. Then you put everything in one bowl and you wash it really well. Then you drain it, and I put a bit of salt on mine. It helps to bring out the moisture from the cabbage and to soften it a little bit before you start frying it, and I use Himalayan salt. So just like maybe a teaspoon, and massage it in with your hand. Now the onions are pretty much translucent, and I'm going to add the cabbage. Well, actually, no, I'm going to add some paprika, and I have this paprika that my mom gave me from Romania, and it's got such a nice flavor and such a nice color. Then I'm going to put some thyme, just a few sprinkles of thyme. You could put chili flakes as well if you want. I think I put chili flakes in mine. It makes it a little bit spicier. And then you just put your cabbage in and you start to cook it. And you'll see that before your cabbage starts to release the juices, you'll need to add a splash of water in it. And just put a little water at a time, and then the water will evaporate and you can add more. But what you want is, when your cabbage is finished and cooled, like mine is over there, you don't want to have any water in it. So then you want to take your dough after it's been proofed. I left mine to proof for about an hour while I was doing the cabbage and cooling it down. And you take maybe a tennis ball, a bit smaller, of dough, and roll it out in a circle. Maybe about a centimeter thick, thinner than that maybe. And after that I'm going to fill it up with my cabbage. Just keep on twisting your dough to roll it out in the circle. Put maybe a heaped tablespoon on half of it, then you fold it in half and you press along the edges, and then you press on your pocket to kind of seal it, and continue doing that with all of them. And when you're ready, you will be left with a little bit of dough, because I made more dough than cabbage, and with the last part of dough I just made a little bird. But you want to put it in the preheated oven of 170 Celsius fan for about 30 minutes or until you can see that it's starting to change color into like a yellow light brown at the top. And I leave mine to cool down, and then I just put them in the freezer. So I take one every day, take it to work with me, or have it at home if I'm at home. I slice it in half and I put it in the toaster, and voila, you have a nice cabbage pocket for your lunch or for a snack. They're quite big, so they're a bit big for a snack, but mine, they serve a good lunch with a salad on the side, and they're very filling. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I am going to try to put once in a while a cooking video along with my knitting videos, just so you see what I'm up to. After all, my channel is called TeoMakes, and Teo doesn't just knit, she cooks and she sews and she does a lot of other things. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.